It's Friday, the 7th of February. Let's get the show started. We're getting all this from the Nigerian Stock Exchange. The exchange now coasting into a new organization after 60 years of existence. Bloomberg reports that the plans to hold a demutualization special meeting is now scheduled for the 3rd of March. The stock exchange is transforming from being a mutual exchange into a public liability company owned by shares and will change its name. According to Bloomberg reports, the Nigerian Stock Exchange will be known after the demutualization as Nigerian Exchange Group PLC. The move will make the stock exchange to list its own shares. Bloomberg reports the NSE has advised 252 dealing members to consider the purchase of dormant operating licenses or combine their operations rather than apply for new licenses. The stock exchange is not issuing any brokerage licenses, as is the exchange moves towards a full demutualization or becoming a PLC. The stock exchange new ownership will include dealing members, individual investors, and most likely overseas institutional and exchange investors. The plan by the stock exchange to change its status into a PLC was first mooted in 2001, but severally postponed until in recent years, which has been revitalized under the Oscar Onyema's administration as the head of the stock exchange. The exchange is looking to further provide avenues to diversify its operations and evolve into a more competitive, robust, and liberalized stock market. That was according to an email which Bloomberg says it was sent to the news agency by the officials of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So that's one big story that the NSE has been talking about in the new year 2020. So let's give you a bit of a sense of how the Nigerian government is moving forward with the listing of green bonds on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Yesterday, the Honorable Minister in charge of the environment was at the Stock Exchange to close the Thursday's trading day, and he had a few words for the market, hinting them about the third series of Nigeria's green bond. Take a listen.
What better reason to be here than the green bond, than the issues of climate change, which is the defining issue of our time. The green bond issuance we have done the first, the second, and today we are here in the process of issuing the third green bond, which will go towards financing green projects. Green projects are what we need today because of the climate issue that we are facing. We need to change our ways of energy production, smart agriculture, solid waste management, turning waste into wealth, waste into resources. These are all things that we need the green bond to finance to do so that we can shift a paradigm shift from business as usual.
Nigeria's Honorable Minister in charge of Environment, Mohammed Abubakar, closing the markets, and that's bringing the Nigerian authorities to the third green bond racing, of course, which goes into renewable energy. Let's check into yesterday's markets. The stock market made a comeback, 0.17. That's tiptoeing back into positive territory after we've seen a few sessions losing some shares. The banks and insurance for the second day remain in positive territory. The banking sector gained. But of course, the key indicators are still below their previous highs when we started the new year on a very, very positive note. So the all-share index was just about 28,140, trying to claw back a little bit of what is lost so far in the current week. Your total market value is still below the 15 trillion naira level. So you go through the primary market indicators, and the turnover for the fourth trading day was consistent with the previous sessions. Again, bargain hunting, 4,320 on the total number of deals done by brokerage firms on behalf of clients. There, I'll go to the five main sectors. Let's just bring that through very quickly, and that gives your banking sector and insurance, giving the market a very big jump. For the banking stocks and the insurance, 0.1%. Oil and gas made a very small comeback, less than 0.1%. Consumer and industrial goods remain in negative territory. This is for a second day. On Wednesday, you saw a similar pattern in which the consumer goods and industrial stocks remain in a negative territory. All that true on the fourth trading day. The market is trying to get all of that back. But if you look at the oil and gas, it was a very gentle uptick. Owando gave the sector 0.56%, 3.439 million shares. Those earnings reported by those companies were not so stellar as you may have heard on the show throughout the week, with the exception of corn oil that made a very big return to profit. Of course, MRS reported negatively, as well as Eternal Oil. If you flip that page, you find Eternal Oil shares down 2.08%, a bit of a profit taking on that small cap oil retailer, because in the wake of its negative earnings for full year 2019, 2.35 at the closing at 235 kobo per share. Look at the NESD over-the-counter markets, and you just see an unchanged indication on the USI, still below the 700 reading. Okay, 697.86. But the market cap is back at 500 billion naira, less than 120,000 units of unlisted stocks traded. We'll talk about the FMDQ Securities Exchange a little bit later. But again, if you look through the data from the trading day, as always, let's start with the open market operations. You find the 159 billion naira for the open market operations. The four most actively traded were treasuries maturing between January and February this year and next year, 2021. You can see January there. Roll that over to the NTB, and that was just about 4.22 billion. For that size of the market, that's quite a very big day if you look at the volume there, and you can see the discount highs. And of course, we finish up with the Naira bond market. Four most actively traded. We have one long dated, 26 April 2049, and the rest are midterm papers, 2023, 2024, and 2029.